Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning into today's video. We have more gaming and PlayStation news, rumours and leaks to go over. A huge shout out to the God of War and Uncharted channel members. If you're new here to the channel, consider subscribing and becoming a channel member. So after a long period of speculation, Bethesda has finally pulled back the curtain on something fans have been whispering for a long time. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remaster is not only real, it's also available right now. The remastered version dropped right after the official announcement during a live stream, sending fans of the classic RPG into a little frenzy and turned the doubters into believers once again. This isn't your average remaster. Oblivion Remastered has been completely rebuilt using Unreal Engine 5. The switch to this powerful engine means players are getting a visually stunning version of the game. Everything from the rolling hills to the dense forests and ancient ruins have been reimagined in high detail. Characters now look more lifelike, environments are rich with detail, and lighting feels more natural thanks to dynamic shadows and other modern visual effects. Animations have also been given a major upgrade. Combat and general character movement look smoother and more believable, making the whole experience feel fresh, even for returning players who have already spent hundreds of hours in the original version. Beyond the visuals, Oblivion Remastered includes some smart improvements to gameplay. One of the biggest changes is the revamped user interface and overall user experience. Menus are more intuitive and the HUD has been streamlined, making it easier to navigate the world and manage your inventory. These updates are inspired by both Oblivion and Skyrim, bringing together the best elements from each to create a smoother, more balanced gameplay experience. The leveling system has also seen some adjustments. Bethesda and their development partner Virtuos, a studio that's helped bring this remaster to life, have taken lessons from both past titles to refine how characters progress and grow. Combat has been modernized with added visual effects like blood splatters and sparks when weapons clash. It's also improved feedback when using a controller, adding a more immersive feel during battles. Another exciting challenge is the audio overhaul. While the remaster keeps the original dialogue intact for that nostalgic feeling, it also includes newly recorded voice lines. Now each playable race has a more distinct sound, adding more variety and personality to the characters that you meet or choose to become in the game. Lip syncing, which was famously clunky in the original release, has been reworked as well, making conversations look more natural. Oblivion Remastered doesn't just stop at the base game, it comes bundled with both major expansions, Knights of the Nine and the Shivering Isles. That means you're getting the full experience right from the start. No need to buy DLC separately, which is a real incredible deal for someone new to the game. For fans of the original, this is a great way to relive everything Oblivion had to offer, now with modern day polish. And for newcomers to the game, it's the perfect way to jump in and experience one of the most beloved RPGs from the mid-2000s without dealing with the outdated graphics or clunky mechanics. Now the game is available for PlayStation 5 in North America and Europe, priced at $49.99 and pounds for the standard version. There is also a deluxe edition for $59.99 and pounds, which includes some extra digital items. Just a heads up though, you'll need a decent amount of space on your PS5. The game weighs in at a hefty 119 gigabytes, so if your console's running low on storage, you might need to clear out or move things around first to download Oblivion. I was originally in two minds about picking this up when I discussed it in a video a couple of days ago. However, given that the whole game has been reworked and that it comes with both DLCs, I will probably go out and get this. I just don't know when I'm going to get the time to play it though. What are your thoughts on this game? Are you planning on picking it up for around 50 quid? Let me know in the comments and let's move on. Now there's always a lot going on behind the scenes within the gaming world, which does not always get shared with the gaming community and gaming fans. One game that's quietly building serious momentum is Death Stranding 2, the highly anticipated follow-up to Hideo Kojima's 2019 sci-fi adventure. While official details about the game have been limited up to now, things are starting to change in a very big way, and it looks like we're going to finally get a proper look at what Kojima Productions has been working on. Over the past week, a very select group of media outlets and industry insiders were invited to a special behind closed doors preview event for Death Stranding 2. This wasn't your typical press event. Rather than just a day demoing or hands-on session, which is what usually happens at these events. This was a full week-long event, which is almost unheard of for a single game. Journalists and personalities from outlets like Eurogamer and VGC, and even industry figure Jeff Keighley was spotted attending. Of course, Jeff is going to be there. Him and Kojima are best of buddies and go back a very long way. They also all posed in a group photo, showing them alongside Kojima himself making the rounds online. That alone has sparked even more interest and speculation about what's coming up. Unfortunately, not every outlet made that list. So coverage will be coming mostly from those who were on site, but with a week-long access window, fans can expect some deep dives once the embargo lifts. So when does all this new information about Death Stranding 2 become public? Well, mark your calendars. Previews for Death Stranding 2 go live on May the 8th, giving us our first real in-depth look at the game. The full release isn't far behind either. Death Stranding 2 is currently scheduled to launch on June 26, exclusively on the PS5. This extended preview period means that outlets involved will have had enough time to explore multiple aspects of the game, whether that's story, gameplay, mechanics, graphics, or Kojima's cinematic style. Fans should expect more than just surface level impressions. Now here is where it gets even more interesting. Rumours have been swirling for months that PlayStation is planning to hold a major showcase sometime in the summer, possibly as early as May or June. Sony has a habit of doing these kinds of events around this time of the year, especially in the absence of E3, which is no longer part of the gaming calendar. This leads to a pretty logical question. Could the Death Stranding 2 preview and the rumoured showcase for PlayStation be connected? It wouldn't be the first time. Kojima and Sony have a long-standing relationship. The original Death Stranding had a big presence at the PlayStation events, and Jeff Keighley, who is heavily involved in both the preview and with major gaming shows, is often part of Sony's marketing effort. If a full-scale showcase is coming, Death Stranding 2 seems like a perfect headliner, especially if it gets an extended gameplay segment or a fresh trailer. What's more, with Sony's first-party slate for the second half of 2025 still unclear, a showcase would be the perfect stage to finally lay out what the rest of the year looks like. That could include more on Death Stranding 2, but also new looks at other PlayStation exclusives, potential hardware announcements, or even long-rumoured sequels from studios like Santa Monica, Sucker Punch, and Naughty Dog. For anyone who's been following Death Stranding 2 closely, the next few weeks are shaping up to be pretty big. Whether you're a fan of the original or just curious about what Kojima does next, this is shaping up to be one of the most talked about games of the year, and if PlayStation does come through with a summer showcase, it could set the tone for what the second half of 2025 and beyond looks like for PS5 owners. Are you excited about Death Stranding 2? The latest trailer for Death Stranding 2 looked absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait for this one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and let's move on. There's a lot of talk right now about where PlayStation is headed in the next few years. With the PS5 still going strong and new hardware like the PS5 Pro recently joining the lineup, it might seem early to start thinking about what comes next. But as it turns out, things are moving quicker behind the scenes than most people realize. New rumors are heating up on a regular basis, especially around two major pieces of tech: a next-gen portable PlayStation device and the eventual arrival of the PS6. And while Sony hasn't officially confirmed anything just yet, some reliable industry insiders are sharing some interesting details that give us a clearer picture of what's possibly on the horizon. So let's start with the portable. According to a known leaker who goes by the name of Kepler L2, Sony is working on a new handheld device that could become part of its next generation ecosystem. This wouldn't be a simple streaming handheld like the PlayStation Portal that was released recently. This rumored device is said to be capable of actually running PS5 games locally, meaning it would be able to play full PlayStation 5 titles directly from the hardware, not just stream them over Wi-Fi. However, it does come with a catch. The device reportedly uses something called shader binary compatibility. In simple terms, this means the handheld is designed to run PS5 games as it is, without requiring developers to modify games for the new system. That's a huge plus in terms of convenience, but performance may be another story. While games might boot up just fine, Kepler claims that in order for them to run well with stable frame rates and optimized graphics, they'll need to be patched by the developers. So it's not a completely seamless experience right out of the gate. You might be able to play your favorite PS5 games on the go, but unless it's been updated and patched for the portable, you could run into some performance issues. Although Sony hasn't officially revealed the handheld device, reports suggest it could be running on AMD hardware, just like the PS5 and the upcoming PS6. That would make sense given Sony's strong relationship with AMD and their recent collaboration on custom chips. And according to the insiders, this new portable won't match the full power of the PS5, but it is still expected to outperform the Xbox Series S, which is Microsoft's entry-level current generation console. That's a promising sign that this portable isn't just going to be a low-powered companion device. It sounds like it's aiming for serious gaming capability, perhaps striking a balance between portability and performance. So while the focus right now is on the PS5, we're also starting to hear more concrete speculation about the PS6. Shuhei Yoshida, the former head of PlayStation's indie division and still a respected voice in the industry, recently commented that a 2028 release window for the PS6 does feel right. That timing lines up with the typical console lifecycle, about 8 years after the PS5's launch in 2020. Meanwhile, former PlayStation executive Sean Layden has suggested that Sony's next console won't go fully digital. Despite the trend towards digital storefronts and cloud gaming, Layden believes physical disc will still have a role to play in the PS6 generation. That will be reassuring to a lot of players who still prefer owning physical media, just like I do. Behind the scenes, Sony is also continuing its partnership with AMD on what's rumored to be Project Amethyst. This is the internal codename for the PS6's chipset development. One major technology reportedly being explored is 3D stacked chips, which could lead to huge performance boosts in future consoles, more efficient processing, better cooling, and more powerful hardware overall. Despite the forward-looking rumors, the PS5 is far from done. Sony just released the PS5 Pro, a more powerful version of the standard console that boosts things like frame rates, ray tracing, and overall visual performance. Alongside that, there's the PS5 Slim, available in both disc and digital versions, offering the same core experience in a smaller form factor. So for now, Sony clearly is still investing in the PS5 ecosystem, but with the possibility of a new portable system and an eventual PS6 on the way. It's clear that they're already planning for the next stage of PlayStation's future. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about the topics discussed in the video today. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.